Hey guys, how we doing? Today I want to talk about an approach at the plate that will really help you be more successful when hitting. Now, this is something that when you move up in levels and you get older, you definitely have to use this approach. If you don't, it's going to be really difficult for you to hit when you start facing pitchers that throw high velocity, 90 plus miles an hour with good breaking stuff and off-speed pitches. It's essential that you use this type of approach, and even at younger levels, you'll notice it a lot in little league and even in high school. When a pitcher throws hard or a lot harder than everyone else, he always dominates. At younger levels, speed is what really gets guys out. So guys that can throw hard are going to be dominant. And if you use this approach, it's going to help you be successful against those harder pitchers. Now, before we get into the approach, let's talk about a little bit of background information. Now, this is put together by Sports Science on ESPN, and it's talking about reaction time, and I thought it was pretty interesting. And basically what they're going through here is how long you have to decide to swing or not. So, in the first 15 feet that the ball is thrown, that's basically where you just see the ball, and you pick up the ball, and you realize that a ball is being thrown at you. The next 15 feet is when you're deciding, should I swing at this ball or should I not? Once it gets past that, you have 25 feet basically to start your swing. So you start your swing when the ball is about 25 feet away from the plate. And the last 10 feet or so that the ball is traveling, your eyes and brain can't even see the ball anymore. It's moving so fast in such a short distance that you can't see the ball. So in the end, if a guy throws 95 miles an hour, you have 0.395 seconds to hit the ball. That's how long it's going to take to get to the plate. And if the guy's throwing 90 miles an hour, it's going to be about 0.4 of a second. So you don't have much time to be thinking. You really don't have any time to be thinking. It needs to be instinctual and just reactionary. So the question is, how do we do this? How do we stop ourselves from thinking and just hit? And the best way to do it, the best way to get yourself in the mode to hit, is to have a yes, yes, no philosophy. Now, this is something I've learned as I've gotten a little bit older. Once you start moving up in levels and you get to AA and AAA and eventually to the major leagues, pitchers become so good at what they do, not only with how hard they throw, but where they put the ball, how they can change speeds, how they can throw 90-mile-an-hour split fingers, and all these crazy pitches that it becomes so difficult to hit. You need to program yourself to hit like this, or else you're not going to hit. And there's been times in my career, and I've talked with other hitters at really high levels, there's been times in their careers that when you start struggling at the plate, a lot of times it's not because your swing is out of whack mechanically, although sometimes it can be, but a lot of times it's for two reasons. One, you're swinging at bad pitches, so you're chasing pitches. Or number two, you just lose your aggressiveness. You start not doing well, and then you start thinking. And you're not programmed in that yes, yes, no mentality. You start thinking, you start trying to really see the ball really, really deep. And things happen so quick that you don't have time to wait for that perfect pitch. And that's what happens sometimes. You're not doing well, and then you start saying, well, I need to wait for that perfect pitch. And by doing that, you're on the defensive instead of the offensive, and you're not going to be able to hit like that. So what the yes, yes, no mentality is you need to tell yourself when you step in the box, you don't have time to think. You need one decision and one decision only, and that's the only thing that should go through your head, and it is no. That's the only decision, is don't swing. So you get in the box, and you need to be ready. You need to anticipate that they're going to throw a ball right in your zone. And this is something that I learned my first year. Our hitting coach was Rob Deere, former major league player, hit a lot of home runs in the big leagues. And that was one of the first things he told me after watching me a few games. He said, I want you to envision or anticipate that every single time the pitcher goes into his windup and he's about to release the ball, that he's going to throw your pitch where you want it, and you're going to swing and hit the ball as hard as you can. And that's the only thing you think about. You think, yes, I'm going to hit. And then once the ball is released, the only thing you have to say is no. You just have to put the brakes on. So you're saying yes, yes, yes. As the ball's coming, you're getting ready to hit, you're getting loaded on time, you're getting ready, you have an aggressive mindset. And then as the ball's getting closer to your zone and you're reading this ball, all you say is no, and you slam on the brakes and you don't swing and you take it. If it is a good pitch, you say yes, yes, and you just keep saying yes, and then you swing and let everything else happen. That's the only way you can be successful when you start facing good pitching, high velocity, good change of speed, good location. You need to be aggressive. You need to anticipate a pitch in your zone, and you got to be ready to hit that pitch. Now, I want to end by saying one thing because I've said this to a lot of players, and this is one of my pieces of advice that I give to players. And sometimes guys will say, well, isn't this going to make me swing at everything, chase balls all over the plate? You said I need to wait for my pitch. But if I'm saying yes to everything, I'm just going to be swinging. It's important to know that the mentality is yes. I'm not saying yes, you swing at everything. The mentality, what your thought process is aggressive. Yes, I'm going to swing. But you're still reading the baseball. You're not swinging at every single pitch. If it's not in your zone, then you say no. But you need to be aggressive in the aggressive mindset to be ready to hit your pitch. And then your decision from there is to read the ball and say no if it's not your pitch, or read the ball and just keep saying yes and swing. If you do this, I'm telling you, it's a simple thing that you might not think makes a big difference, but if you're not doing well, make sure you get back to doing this and just remind yourself, yes, yes, no. I'm just going to be aggressive, think yes, and be ready for my pitch. So give it a shot. Let me know how it works. If you have any questions, let me know, and we'll go from there. All right? Thanks, guys.